So this video is how to submit into your PAWS assignment Dropbox. And this video is specifically for the 2020 Spring BUSN 1360-1h1, our Flex 2 class that went online. And this is Software Apps for Business. So you're ready to submit your first case work. So you've completed some documents in Word and you're ready to submit those. And so I thought I'd show you how, just to make sure. This might be a new process for you. I've logged into PAWS. That's the first thing. I'm going to go into our class. And this is our class here. And up here along the top you'll see assessment and then assignments. This used to be called Dropbox, by the way. So you may hear some faculty call it Dropbox. I call it assignments Dropbox. So I kind of split the difference. As you look down the page, and you can scroll all the way down, what you see, and this is kind of important here, is you see the name of the Dropbox up here, and then you see some files that are attached to it. And don't be distracted by these files that are attached to it. I kind of hate that they put that there, because what you need to do is you need to actually go into the assignment itself. So in this case, I'm going to click on Word Case 1. Now, here's one of the very important reasons that you want to go into the assignment, I'm sorry about that, is because you're going to see some detailed instructions. So, for example, it tells you that those attachments that you saw, that these are your starter files and that you're going to need to save them to your computer. It also gives you suggestions like create a folder on your drive to stay organized so that you save these files into your folder. Very important. Students sometimes get confused and they save the same file in about 3 different places, and unfortunately then what happens is you submit the wrong file and it's not the work. I can't grade it, I can't give you points because some of your work is not shown there because it was completed in a file that you did not submit. Okay, so anyway, so read that. Some critical notes about what you need to do. It's got all the instructions here, even tells you the page number, all of this. And I like to use this pretend student Anna Apples is what I call her, and it explains that you name your files with last name and then first name. So it tells you absolutely everything to do, including, and this is always at the bottom of all your instructions for these cases, it says these are the files that you need to submit. And that's really important because it will prevent you excuse me, from forgetting to submit one. Sometimes you might just overlook that there were 3 files to submit. Maybe you only submit 1. So in this way, you'll know. And I do have at the bottom here some videos that I created for you that will help you, do what I'm showing you now, how to submit files into the Dropbox. Okay, so I'm looking down here. I see these attachments. Of course, these are the ones that you could download. And when you get here, now this is confusing to a lot of students. It says comments, and you are welcome to type a comment to me. It is not necessary. It does not change your grade in any way. What really you're focused on is this add a file. And so when I click on add a file, I have a choice. Maybe you saved it to OneDrive. I always save mine on my computer. And this is kind of cool. Now I can click the upload button and I can navigate on my computer, move around to say, okay, where did I save that file? And I can upload it. What I like to do is I tend to have my folder already open. Maybe it's even on your desktop or something like that. I save my files on one of those USB drives, those little flash drives, and I make a folder. I call this first folder Folder 1. And here are my 3 files, and that's, remember, important from the instructions. Now, I tell you what you can do. You can, if you'd like, just drag them over one at a time. If you're a little more sophisticated, maybe you know that you can select more than one. One way to do that is to click one time the first file to select it, which is already done here. Hold your Shift key down and click the last one. Another way is that you can click one file, hold your control key down, and then you can click individual files. Okay, so shift selects everything from the first to the last file, from the first thing you selected to the last thing you selected when you hold the shift key down, and control allows you to pick and choose individually. I've got the first one over here. I think I'll just keep dragging and dropping, and you can see, and if your network's slow, which mine is, see how I need to wait until that's completely finished uploading. Oh, my network's so slow, I apologize. There it goes. And now here comes the third file. This is the last one. And I'm patient. I'm so patient. There it goes. Now, after you do that, make sure that you click this Add button down below. Did I get it? Let me click it again. There it goes. And you should see underneath the Add a File button, make sure it's underneath the Add a File button, not these up here, but underneath the Add a File button, you see the files that you submit, want to submit. And again, no comments are necessary. I'm just going to click on Submit. And voila! There are the files, and it actually, the system, the PAWS system, sends you an email confirming that, which is kind of cool. In order to get that email, you do not want to go up here directly and click this. You need to go back out to PAWS and then click the email icon. Then you'll be able to see that receipt. You get a receipt. Okay, anyway, so I've done that, and I can click on Done. And I have submitted my work. And notice now it even says 1 submission, 3 files. Now, what if I just now realized I did something wrong and I make a change to my file and I want to resubmit it? That is no problem in our course. Now, this is all things that your instructor can set. For me, in our class, you can just simply submit the file again. You can submit all 3 of them again. You can submit just that one. Now, the deal is I only grade the last thing you submitted. So I'm not going to say, well, the first file she submitted, the first paragraph was great, but then it got messed up on the second one. And so, no. I'm only going to look at the very last thing you submit. And you can keep submitting up until the due date. Now, you can't keep submitting after the due date, okay? But there's those instructions. Remember, I click on Add a File. I click on My Computer. Now, this time, for example, maybe I'll click on Upload. And I've got some stuff open. And remember, I saved mine, and this is where it's good to know. I saved mine on this flash drive that I see over here. I saved mine in my Word 1 folder. And let's say that I corrected an error that I saw on this Word document, so I'm going to submit that again. And it uploaded, Add. And there it is, and I'm going to click Submit. And I see it submitted, and then once again I'm done. And now it says I have 2 submissions, 4 files total. And all you have to do if you want to look at those files is click that link. And so see how you can see in their time and date stamped, and I see this too, so I'll see, okay, this is the most recent one, I should look at that one. Okay, okay, so that's how that works. If I want to see that email receipt, I'm going back out to PAWS. Remember, that's important. Don't just go directly there. Always go back out to PAWS, and then I can click my email. This is a demonstration account. It's a pretend student account. So anyway, and see how you have these receipts? So that's kind of cool. And it says this is what you submitted. And it shows me that one file. And then I've got this other. And it says, look at all this. It says, here's the files that you submitted. And so that's cool. All right. Now, don't forget, you had more than one assignment due. So let's go back. Do you remember? Quiz yourself. See if you can do it. In our class, assessment, assignments. Now we're going to move on to Word Case 2 because this one is also due tonight. Click that. There's those instructions. It says you have a starter file, you'll create a document, blah, blah. Goes through. Tells me what pages in my book I need to follow. You know, I've created a folder to put my files in, and I go through. Gives me all these instructions, and these are great to just use as a checklist. You'll really get the hang of this after a while, and it won't take time to read, but right now, really good to make sure you read it all, and then later on, just use it as a checklist. That's what I would do. Okay, so now, it says there's 2 files to submit, right? The one with school and the one with gift. But I emailed you and I said there's a problem with the gift template because one of your classmates said I can't find it. So I emailed you and I said you do not have to do that. So what that means is that you really only have 1 file to submit for this particular assignment. Okay? You've got the helpful videos that are, you know, there to help you turn these in. Yeah, that was that starter file, so I'm not even concerned about that. Also, it's not what I need to turn in, right? I need to turn in school. So here I go down, add a file. I'm going to go to my computer. We can drag and drop. Do you like that? I put it in Word 2, and there it is. And I didn't do that gift file, right? So I don't need to submit that. Drag and drop. Wait for it to upload. I see that it's uploaded. Add. Submit. So add, get the file, submit. That's key. Add, go get the file, submit. Now the common question, how do I know she got it? Did she get it? I don't know if she got it. How do I know? Right here. You can always go back and it says 1 submission, not to mention it just emailed you a receipt. Okay, so I can always go in and say, okay, there it is. I can even look, if I click that, I can even reopen it. Maybe you want to look at something, right? And see how it just downloaded it right there? I mean, you're familiar with that file, so I'm not going to open it up. But okay, so if anything went too fast, you can replay the video, but that's how you submit the files. Now, what I will do is after today, so sometime tomorrow, hopefully, okay, hopefully, I will grade this. I try to grade and give you feedback very quickly, and I'll give you another video talking about the feedback when that's ready. So I hope this is helpful in answering some of your questions. Thank you very much.